I forgot to remove it from the loop before I put myself in the background and all that kind of stuff. Good evening, everyone. Jerry, that's right. I had Randall in mind, but I know it's not Randall. Randall is the other guy. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. So let's see. We have Jordan here. Jerry is here. Jotham is here. Nice to have you here, all of you. I see 9 people. Don't be shy. Don't hesitate to have a little chat with me. The more you speak, the more you chat, the easier it is for me. Had to go away for a while. Well, I hope that you're safe and you're healthy and you're, whatever you went through was not so bad. Let me change the banner a little bit to give a little bit of promotion to my members. Before I start talking about what's been going on with me in the last week, I would just want to remind you that for 99 cents a month, you can have access to behind-the-scenes pictures, post, some members-only videos. Sorry. And for another extra $2, $2.99 total, you can have access to more photos, more videos, access to my videos before I actually post them out. So for you, it's only 99 cents. And for me, well, if I have, let's say, an extra 100 people subscribing or joining my membership, well, it's going to give me an extra $95 a month. Just throwing it out there. We've been having a few talks lately about if we should promote ourselves more or, how to go about it, because we all have our Amazon affiliate link. I even have my Amazon store now. I don't get much traffic. And honestly, it kind of hurts that I have so many family members and friends that order from Amazon pretty much every day. And yet, none of them want to take 2 extra seconds to click on my link before they place their order. Beverly, thank you so much for stopping by. Nice to have you here. Looks like you have done some good channel growth last time. Yeah. Well, I've been using the YouTube promotions to try it out. And it's been working so far. I just can't wait to reach at least 10K. At 10,000, I've heard that YouTube is starting to pick you up a lot more. So I want to see that happening. So yeah, like if I have family members watching, I have my Amazon link in the description below. You can click on any of those Amazon link and just go about your day and order whatever you want. And because I'm the one that sent you to Amazon, I get a small cut. And it will not cost you anything extra. So don't hesitate to use a link. All you're doing is helping me. And I mean, 2024, right? The cost of food, the cost of everything is so expensive. You can play my videos. You don't even have to be there. You don't even have to be in front of the TV. I promise I won't get offended. If you can't stand me speaking, if you can't stand me talking, if you don't care about my stuff, you're going out to do the groceries, put it on your TV, on your computer, give me a thumbs up, just put play and leave. Let it play, let it go. I don't know. I just feel like everyone should be doing the same thing with everybody else's channels. If you can't find the time to watch everyone, I'm trying to support everyone. I have a lot of friends on YouTube. I try to support each and every one of them. And I'm being honest about it. I don't always have time to watch the whole video. But because I know that it's really helping out, I will leave it on, go about, go do what I have to do, come back, leave a comment, give a thumbs up. If you make a 30 minutes video, I'll probably watch the first 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I'll go up to the bathroom, come back, watch a little bit more. I'll leave it on, maybe go get my lunch, come back, and then your video might be over. I know what you're talking about. I'll leave a comment, thumbs up, and I'll go watch another video. And if it's really something that I think I can learn from, well, I will probably save it and watch it again later. Thank you, Jerry. But I mean, it's something that each and every one of us can do for every single YouTuber, especially if you see one struggling. The more watch time we get, the more YouTube promotes us, I guess. It's all connected, right? More thumbs up, the more comments, the more people chatting here. If I had like 20,000 people saying just hi at the same time and leaving, that would give a huge spike to YouTube, and that would show them that I'm here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I can't force anyone. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna get mad if you don't. I'm just saying that it's so easy to support a YouTuber. And let's face it, it's not my main job. A lot of YouTubers are counting on YouTube to make money. I'm not there yet. I think I make about $23 monthly, and I can't cash out until I reach 100. So, it's an easy and cheap way for you to help me out. What? It's okay. All right. I'm guessing you guys, especially Jerry, you probably have some very, very nice weather down there, right? It's probably spring is probably even come and gone. It's probably almost summer for you. We were lucky this year, at least this winter. This is the best winter I've ever had. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I could walk with I could put rubber boots, walk anywhere on my property, and I wouldn't get snow in my boots unless I do it on purpose. And we're in the middle of like mid-March. I will share my live stream because I haven't shared yet. In the 80s yesterday, rain today, peaches. Wow, that's amazing. 80 Fahrenheit is probably close to 25 Celsius, 2025. Just give me a second, folks. I want to share this everywhere I can. Canadian homesteading YouTubers. And it's crazy. This is the first time. I'm 40 years old, and this is the best winter I've ever had, because I hate snow and I hate winter. So for me, this is amazing. I know people doing snowmobile, they don't like it, but I do. One more place to share this, and then I am all with you. I should have done that before a live stream, honestly. Not like I didn't have time. Going back to normal next week, 60s. Warmest winter since I moved back 13 years ago. Yeah, I think this is the first time we don't get any minus 40s. Still snow here. I'm going to soon tap the maple trees. Yeah, like I didn't have time to take care of that this year at all. And season's almost over. People have been tapping maple trees here for like almost a month. It's crazy. Usually we start around the 25th of March. We were at least a month ahead this year. Not one snowflake. Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. I don't remember the last time. I don't remember it happening ever. Where mid-March we would see some grass. Now it scares me a little bit for the spring and the summer, because I'm afraid that this will tempt me a little bit more to put my stuff outside early, and I must resist. Good day, Patrick. Nice to have you here. uh, yeah, but I'll be able to spend some time fishing a little bit more. You got new chickens, I know, right? That's awesome. Yeah, I have to resist. Well, to be honest, um, I am not ahead on schedule in terms of my starting my seeds. All I have so far is a few onions that I received from the Vineyard Chicks. And by the way, I also received my lemon balm seeds. I don't know if you can see there. From, I need to make a video on that, but Bushcraft family. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I will do a proper introduction video to his challenge. That's the thing. Like the last week, I spent the whole week wondering what can I do for my YouTube channel. Like I'm out of ideas for videos to make. Suddenly today, it's like, pew, 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 pew. I have to make that video. I have a ton of cleaning to do, so I want to do a video on the before and after, because I am really planning on making an awesome, huge pantry room. Well, pantry and a place to put my seedlings. Might need to buy a few more grow lights, but in a year like this year, the winter was not as bad, saving a little bit on electricity. That's awesome. So now it's just a matter of figuring everything out with the grow lights and get everything set up nicely. So we're supposed to do this tomorrow, hopefully. I thought I had seeds in here. It says onion seeds, red onion seeds, but yeah, it's empty. So that's one idea of a video I want to make. I already have a video set up for next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that. So anything I do from now until then is like a bonus. A bonus for me, a bonus for my channel. Hello, Darren. Thank you so much for stopping by. I also have a pretty awesome idea for another video that I spoke to with to Darren. I sent a message to Tracy and Angie to see if they want to be in on this little collab video kind of thing. So I'm not gonna give any more information other than that. I want to keep the suspense a little bit more. I also have a video I can make on my seeds, because I need to start planting seeds. I want to start. I've had this crazy idea of selling plants this year, selling seedlings. I'm yawning again. It's not because I'm tired, because really I'm not. Usually it's not something that I think about, because so many things going on. Like I'm not always here in the prime time. I don't really have space to grow stuff. Last year I grew so much that this year, like, I just want to cut down a little bit on the amount of food that I grow, because it was just driving me insane. Well, one of the reasons I didn't do Shed Wars this year is because I want to take some time to rest. I want to be able to go outside in my garden and enjoy the time there, not being focused so much on producing. I want the kids to be able to go outside, grab an apple, strawberry, a raspberry, blueberry, gooseberry, a pear, anything really, cherry, even a carrot from the garden. Just go outside, grab something, eat it straight out of the garden. That's what I want the kids to do, and that was the main reason I started my garden in the first place. But by having to weigh everything, I was kind of taking that away from them. So I'm hoping to. I'm not going to have any idea how much I grew this year, other than knowing the amount of mason jars I have. That being said, on May 30th, there's like this huge yard sale happening at the school, and the kids were really excited about it. They wanted to sell all of their old stuff. I call it junk, but they want to get rid of their junk. They have a bunch of toys, gadgets, things that they don't use anymore because, let's face it, they're growing, and they still have some stuff that's actually it's still working. It's still in pretty good condition. And they want to make money, and they know that life is expensive, so they want to make more money than they would usually make in the summer by babysitting or anything like that. Well, the younger ones don't babysit, but they always try to help around. Can I do this for $1? Can I do that for $1? Now they'll be able to sell their own stuff and make a little bit of money. That being said, give me an idea that maybe I should start planting more seeds, but I don't want to have the same things that we have in the nurseries around here. I don't want to have like the tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchinis, and squash and things like that. I'm probably going to have some anyway because, whatever I don't sell, I'll just plant. But I want to have like different type of tomatoes because I have so many seeds. I want to grow asparagus. I want to grow herbs, like perennials, I want to be there in a booth, being able to tell the people how to use it, how to grow it, how to harvest it, and all of that. If I'm able to grow enough lemon balm, I know a lot of people around here don't grow lemon balm. So I can tell them, put that in your garden somewhere. It spreads. It will get bigger. But it is awesome in a tea. You can use it in a salad. You can do a lot of things with it. It is a medicinal plant. It smells good. It keeps away the mosquitoes. Just give me 1 second. I will keep on talking, but I just don't want you to see me picking my nose. I have some issues with my sinuses. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go through my seeds and see exactly what I can plant, when I need to start it. The only problem I have is the amount of space. So hopefully I'll be able to figure something out. I might have to buy a grow light or two, but that might be hard to do for me right now because I'm trying to put some money aside for the conference in Ontario. And I also need to put some money aside to buy the meat chickens and the turkeys. What I like in our climate is the mint family doesn't spread as fast up here. Yeah, mine didn't spread as fast either. Although I'm probably gonna see a difference this year because I planted like 10 different kinds along my driveway. It's a small hill, so like if it spreads, it's not gonna spread in my driveway. I mean, it could, but it's probably not gonna grow too well. But if it goes up on my lawn, like I don't mind. Mowing the lawn when it smells so good, I don't mind at all. I got videos scheduled out to July almost daily with my old channel's content and some new stuff. Learned to it just a little bit. Awesome. Yeah, I've been trying that also. I have another channel. I don't want to talk about it too much because I want to see if YouTube is going to pick it up on its own without me sharing and all that stuff. I think I am at about 4 subscribers right now. Let me see. Current subscribers 7. Oh, I gained a few subscribers, 7 subscribers, but I only get like 2 views on a video and 3 on the other one. Uh, 7 on that one. I am just putting the same videos I have on this channel, but like videos that are mostly about foraging and being out in the wild. I wanted to change this channel, but it's hard because I already have base. You know, I have almost 8,000 subscribers, which is insane. So I'm thinking about continuing the way I am now. And what I do is really try to focus on how to save money on food. This is my thing. If YouTube doesn't recognize it as niche, well, you know, they're the ones missing out, not me, because I'm just going to do things I like doing anyway. I can share the videos on another channel, and you know, if I have to, I'll make another video on the gardening itself. I don't care. Like, it's just a matter of uploading the same videos, right? And I don't know if there's anything stopping me from sharing on the two live streams, on the 2 channels at the same time. I don't know. I think there's a way to do it. Hello, Dave. Yeah, you're probably still outside playing with your plants in the garden, right? Well, majority of us, except for Jerry, we still have to shovel and you know, handle the snow out there, but we're not like everybody's not lucky like you. So Dave, I'm guessing you're going to the conference again this year. Darren's going. Darren, do you know if Brigitte's going to be available this year? I know last year it kind of sucked for her because she was home. She had, was it work or, oh, I think you were expecting a baby cow, right? And never happened. But it'd be nice if she could be there this year, have the whole gang. Well, I know Lynn's not going to be there. Annie still wasn't sure. Her plan is to go. Awesome. Because, you know, she's part of the family too. And it was kind of awkward for us to go at your place, spend the night. When you were there, it's not that bad. I mean, we got to spend time with you. But then on Sunday, we arrived pretty late. You weren't there, and she was sleeping. We kind of arrived at your place. It was not as fun. You know, I wish she would have been there and you two, and we could have spent like another day together. Baby cow didn't come for more months later. Yeah. Her dates were really off. I know Karen from Buttercup and Fern is going to the conference. Rob and Janie are taking care of it, so Mike and Angie is going to be there as well. Kendra's probably going to be there with Jason. Tracy's coming over again this year. Darren's going to be there. Patrick should be there. Dave's going to be there. It's going to be awesome. And, you know, if you want to share the information, let's try to have more people there. This year, they want to have it done. It's new people taking care of it, and they want to have the YouTubers a little bit more involved. You know, because they can use us to do some advertising. We can be there, do some filming for our own channels, but also to promote the conference, to have something beautifully done so that next year, you know, we can use those videos to promote. So my plan this year is to try to have a little bit more. Well, last year I didn't film, so this year I want to film more. I want to do a little bit more like I did the first year, where I did like a tour of Darren's place, Darren's farm, which was pretty awesome. I also visited Hickory Croft Farm. You know, I made a video on both homesteads. I think I did a video about when I was at the conference, and there was another video about when I was at Mike and Angie's, but I didn't really visit Mike and Angie's place. and I know they're building the house, and they kind of want to keep it not necessarily secret, but they want to be able to show it on their channel first. So it might be a little bit harder for me to go film their homestead, but I can still do like a podcast maybe, or maybe not a podcast, but just like a little introduction about them. I'm pretty sure Angie would be willing to do it, and Mike as well. And we might be able to film from outside the house without going in and keeping the suspense alive. We could tell their story from their point of view, other than what we talk about when we go on a live stream and things like that. I'm sure, Darren, you might have some more interesting things to talk about from your homestead. I know you're always evolving as well. So there's always some interesting stuff to talk about. I don't know, last year you can do the live stream. We keep talking about maybe doing something around a little fire outside, and have a bunch of people there. It'd be nice if we could do that at some point, but I understand it doesn't always happen that way. I worked up a half acre the other day and worked in wood chips and leaves. Nice. Well, it's probably not fun to, I don't know. Is it fun? I wish I had land to be able to work in, really, honestly. It'd be nice if I could get to meet Mallory at some point too. Like I've been following her on YouTube for a while, and we're even friends on Facebook. We don't really talk that often, but it'd be nice. I don't know if she has plans. I know she's going through some stuff. Not my place to say. Just go and check out Quebec Homestead, and she's talking about it in her last live stream. Always a different angle on a topic as well. Yeah, exactly. Because we learn. What we knew 2 years ago, we know it still, but we learn so much more, and we can see things from a different point of view. Sorry. Yeah, we can see things from a different point of view. We've had more knowledge, more experience. We've done some experiments that we learn from. Stuff is growing. We're evolving. Like I said, you probably not necessarily have more animals. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But the perennial plants are probably more abundant. Your food forest is probably growing. I can probably go to your place and do a video only on the Highland cows, or I could go at your place and do a video totally on your take on the food forest you're trying to make. I don't know if these are things you've already talked about on your channel. I wouldn't want to steal your thunder, but you get the point. Like, I'd like to go to the conference and enjoy it as much as I did last year, but nothing stops me from, I'll have the GoPro. I can just put the GoPro on my head and just go around everywhere with the GoPro on my face. I don't mind. And what I did also is I purchased this year, because I noticed that the battery on the GoPro doesn't last very long. So I have yet to try it, but hopefully it works well. They're fully charged. This should be good to go. You don't talk about the cows on your channel. No, you make jokes about them all the time. But I wouldn't want to have a subject that could potentially be a subject for your channel, but at the same time, something you've already talked about. It's something that people from my channel could benefit from as well. And it's always nice to have just like different people coming in, talking and explaining different things. People get to see that it's not only me doing this lifestyle, and it's the same whenever we have live streams and collabs and all that kind of stuff. People see that it's not only a few people that are living this lifestyle. It's a bunch of people all around the world, but the more people we can show, the better it is. Dave, if you're there at the conference with your van, I would love to have a video on your van. Your van is like awesome. I'm jealous. I wish I had a van like this. I'm pretty sure it doesn't cost you that much to travel around, and at the same time, like, you have everything you need in there. And that's something I want to start doing as well. Put the stuff in the back of the vehicle. I wish I had those like, I don't know what you would call it, like those plastic containers that you can put on top of a vehicle. I wish I had one like that to put on top of my Jeep, just so I can put it on whenever I need it, put some stuff in, go for a drive. If I decide to stop somewhere, just sleep in the Jeep, even if it's in the middle of the woods, I can do it. That'd be fun. That's something I would love to do. Awesome. If you're leaving, thank you so much for stopping by. Now, to go on a different subject, I just want to be careful about how I say things. I am not going to name anyone, but it's up to you to figure it out. Let's just say that it was a rough week because there's a lot of stuff happening. Work is not always easy. It's not always fun, but there's stuff that's happening that's really, really weird. And this week it was a weird week. I feel sometimes that there's not enough communication between different departments. And I'll be the first to admit that when I worked at the pharmacy, I thought that whoever worked at the payroll were responsible if there was a mistake on my paycheck. Now that I'm working at the payroll, I know that every mistake on a paycheck is caused by the manager. Not necessarily on purpose or whatever, like mistakes happen. But, someone called me today complaining that there was a mistake on their paycheck. I mean, the poor person was leaving on vacation for a week. I get it. Like, I totally get it. She was missing $1,000 on her paycheck. But, she was really mad, really angry. But it's not my fault. Like, you can call me and bitch at me all you want. But I'm not the one creating the system. I'm not the one that programmed the system. I'm not the manager that set everything up in a time card. And I'm certainly not the one that did the request to do the adjustment that I saw on the employee's profile, Hello, Rochelle. Thank you so much for stopping by. So in that case, what happened was the employee worked 2 weekends in a row, and apparently in their convention, it says that if they work 2 weekends in a row, the second weekend has to be paid double time. She was paid double time back then. Now, for some reasons that I don't know, and honestly, like, we don't have time to check. We have about 200 emails coming in every day, and there's only 8 of us, and each of those emails are problems we have to solve. We don't have time to run after the managers, and we've been told that manager sends you something, you just do it. You just take care of it and you do it. So what happened is the manager sent a request to do a pay adjustment early this week, because apparently the employee was not supposed to be paid double time, and she wasn't happy about that. So if she was paid double time for a full shift, well, it was a lot of money. Let's just put it this way. Full-time nurse doing about, I don't know. I don't remember, and I don't think we're allowed to even say the exact amount, but a nurse does over $40 an hour. I mean, that's public. It's out there. If someone wants to know how much a nurse is doing in New Brunswick, it's public. It's out there. So it's over $40 an hour. At double time, That's $80 an hour. And if you do a 12-hour shift and double overtime, do the math, it's almost $1,000. And the adjustment was to charge that at regular time instead. So let's just say that she wasn't happy, but I mean, it's not my fault. Like, I can tell you what to do to try to fix it, but I cannot fix it unless I have the approbation from the manager, because I don't know. You could be lying, and we have to follow the manager. And of course, the manager could be lying, but then again, it's his job to tell the truth. Now, we all know that it doesn't mean anything, really, but it is the way we have to go. It's just the kind of thing that happens all the time since I'm there working for payroll, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going back to the pharmacy. At least at the pharmacy, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. And the people that call me, they're usually the managers of unit within our hospital. Right now, payroll is regional, or provincial, I should say. So it's every single hospital in New Brunswick that work the same system, and there's only like 10 employees working for payroll. Like, there's one gone for union negotiation, another one gone on sick leave, another one gone on maternity leave. There's 3 new employees that don't know half of what they're doing. There's a manager and a coordinator. So if you calculate what's left, there's not much left to help with the rest of the stuff. So, if some people start calling about questions or problems or whatever, there's not many people that can actually answer their phone calls. And since it's all regional, well, I am the one that I understand a little bit what's going on, but I am not advanced enough to be able to do all the work. So therefore, I take the phone calls, and I don't mind taking the phone calls when I know what I'm talking about. But when I have no idea what's going on, it's not fun. If I get a phone call from someone in Moncton complaining about the manager doing a mistake, like, what am I supposed to do? I am 4 hours away. I don't have time to call the manager and tell the manager that the manager needs to do this or that. In the pharmacy, people that will call me are managers from our own hospital, and we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 managers at the regional hospital. And if you count detox, there's another one there, and another 6 managers. So maybe, like, let's say there's 30 people that could call me on a regular basis at the pharmacy. They might call me once a week each, but they know me and I know them, and they know that I'm going to do everything I can to help them. So when they call, they're usually like, Remy, I feel like crying. Can you just please come and help me? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. I'll go and I'll give you a hand. But it's, first of all, it's stuff that I know. It's stuff I understand. That job was probably created for me because it is the perfect job for me. I know what I'm doing, and it's fun. And it's not to brag, but we have issues with third parties in our own IT department, and sometimes I'm the one that fixes the problem. If there's something that needs to be done by IT, usually they'll just give me a call, say, hey, Remy, we know you can do this. Just go in this setting and change that. Oh, okay, thank you. Boom, it's done. So I know how to fix things. I know how to get the job done. This is my job. At the payroll, I don't feel the same way. So that's why I'm going back to the pharmacy. But until I get there, like, this is something else. That's another issue. And I don't want to talk too much about it, but I'll just say this. There is something in the union because we are part of the union, that if we change job within the union, our current manager is allowed to keep us there for a certain amount of time because of the department's needs. So when I was at the pharmacy and I told my manager that, I accepted another job at payroll, I'm leaving, I'm going to give you whatever it is I have to give you in terms of time. Hey, Michael, but, at some point, I'm gone. And she's like, okay, well, it's 6 weeks. We can keep you here for up to 6 weeks. And there's a shortage of staff. So, of course, we're going to keep you for as long as we can. Which it was okay. I didn't mind. I wanted to leave as soon as possible, of course, because, it was a new challenge, a new job. I was leaving because I needed the change mentally. It was, I was exhausted and so on. But, I'll do what I have to do. I'll follow the guidelines. I'll follow the rules. Turns out that they kept me for 5 weeks because they didn't want me to switch in the middle of a pay card because we're being paid every second week. And then they didn't want to pay me 1 week at the pharmacy and the second week at the payroll. They just didn't want to deal with that. So they wanted to have everything done properly and, done easier and that kind of stuff. So now I'm at the payroll heading back to the pharmacy. So I figured it's maximum 6 weeks, right? So I told them at the end of February. So I was expecting first week of April to still be there, but second week of April to go back to the pharmacy. And when I spoke to my current manager, she said, well, probably around the end of March, because, I don't know everything. They don't need me as much as they do at the pharmacy. When I talked to her after, the story changed a little bit. I was there until the middle of April. But I'm not complaining about that situation per se. I just want to complain about the way that all the information is not given to us. Because when I started counting the weeks, it was a total of 7 weeks. And I'm like, if it's only supposed to be no more than 6 weeks, why can't you keep me 7 weeks? And before I started complaining, I wanted to know, what's the rule? Is this the kind of rule where they can decide whatever they want? Or does it say, you should try to free the employee in a timely manner? Or, words sometimes can be done differently. And it can have a different meaning depending on who reads it. So I started reading. And I found in our convention, in our contract, the union contract, it says, and I think the exact words are, an employee accepting another job in a department that stays in the same union must let the employer know as soon as possible, and the hospital has to do everything in their power to free the employee within 4 weeks. So the story was 6, but in our contract it says 4. But do everything in their power to free the employee within 4 weeks. The gray zone is this big. You know what I mean? So it's we're stuck. We're being controlled by them. I wish I could just go back to the pharmacy now. I've been at the payroll for 2 months. I don't like it. I should be able to go back. But I just can't because I have to stay there for another month. Doing stuff I don't know, stuff I don't understand. And I'm at the point where I don't really care about learning new stuff, knowing that I'm leaving. I don't want to fill up my brain with a bunch of new information that I'm not going to need. I guess I do the basics. I do some of the stuff that can actually help them a little bit anyway, but I don't feel like I belong there, and I just can't wait to go back. And something else I learned is, now that's something that's really hard to confirm because I cannot find that information anywhere. But it's someone working for the union who told me that it's the kind of thing that's not in the contract per se, but it is like some sort of a verbal agreement. Just give me a second there. Uh-oh. My daughter and her boyfriend are watching a movie at the Paramount. She's 11. Come on. They're not alone, though. I told her as long as he's nice with you and he treats you well. She's like, yes, Dad, I know. She's so cute. She's growing so fast. So, yeah. I can't find any information anywhere, but apparently, if they cannot release you within 4 weeks, after week number 4, they're supposed to give you the benefits of the best job of the two. And that includes the amount of hours that you want to make and the salary. So that means that when I was working at the pharmacy, before I left for payroll, there was like this 5th week where I was supposed to get an extra $1 an hour. Now, I've been told that I need to fight for this, but it's like, you don't understand how anxious it makes me feel. And we're talking about $1 an hour for a week. It's $37 and a half. 37 hours and a half. So that's, and it's actually like $1.01 an hour. So it's like $37.75 or something like that. You know, like it's, once they take all the taxes out, I'm gonna get like an extra $20. And like they want me to fight for this, and I get that it's mine. The thing is, when I spoke to my my ex-manager and the future manager about it, she's like, I don't care if that's what it is. I'll give it to you. I'll pay you. I don't mind, but you know that's not written anywhere, and I've never heard anything about that. So now it's like, what the union tells me is I shouldn't even need to ask. It should be put in my account right away. So like, what do I do? Do I really want to fight this for $20 in my pocket? Money is tight, of course, but you know, peace of mind is worth a lot sometimes. Just peace, you know. Yeah, I was aiming at 25, but I think she's been going out with the same little guy since she was like 7. So, you know, they go to school together. That's pretty much it. Like she doesn't go there. He doesn't really come here. The parents asked me if she could go. Well, she didn't. They didn't ask me. They asked Manon if she could go. And I mean, they're going as well. Like they're not there alone. They're watching a movie at Paramount. He wanted to take her out. He wanted to pay everything for her. You know, it's not like she's not gonna get pregnant tonight. There, I'm not scared that this is not gonna happen. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're going at the conference, right? I know Jane's going to be there as well. Jane brought me some nice rhubarb last year, and she's supposed to bring me some stinging nettles this year. Yeah. What are you guys planning for the next week? I'm just hoping that my tooth back here doesn't start hurting when I'm in Quebec or Ontario. I realized today that I have a hole in one of my teeth, and when I looked in the mirror, like I can see the hole, and yeah, it's decaying. I mean, it's not because I don't brush my teeth. I do it like twice a day, and ever since I got one teeth removed here, I tend to go like harder and longer on the edges. And the thing is, going to the dentist, um, now they put you this little thingy in the mouth to stretch your mouth, and you're like, ah, and you have this rubber thing, and they tell you breathe through your nose, breathe through your nose. I can't. Like I can't breathe through my nose. Like if you don't take that rubber thing off, like I'm gonna choke and die. Like I am bringing kombucha and SCOBY. Awesome. More videos and have to help Bridget as much as possible with weaving. Yeah, like is it really taking off? Like I know she's been like, well, I think she's been steadily selling some stuff. But lately, it's like she's always on that machine. Is it just because it's easier, she can do a lot more and sell it for cheaper and she's selling more? Or is it just because, the word is out there and she... No. Maybe Annie from Back to Basics Homestead would have something like that. She's usually... I know she had a video about that last year, I think. Check out her videos, her channel, and send her an email. Maybe she can help you out. I always forget I can breathe through my nose. Yeah, it's like, I know when I breathe, there's like maybe 10% going through my nose and 90% from my mouth. And if I try to go with my nose alone, I feel like I'm not getting enough air. And it gets worse when I have all those machines in my mouth because I swallow a lot. I always feel like I have saliva in my throat. And those little vacuum thing there, it's not a good, I didn't do a good move there, right? Okay, I'll cut this off. But that thing that they put there to remove the saliva, I tend to put that like in my mouth, like every chance I get. I just don't like having something wet in my mouth. Okay, I have to stop talking about that kind of stuff. No worries. Hoping to find Canadian. Well, Back to Basic Homestead is in Quebec, so she might be able to help you. Yeah, I hear the dog being excited, so that means that the family's arriving from the city. My almost 20-year-old daughter got her first tax income. And she got a lot of money because she was paying taxes when she shouldn't have been. And she's still a student, and she was working last year. So anyway, she ended up having a lot of money, and she's like, hey, I want to get a PS5. Which is like, I mean, she's so good with her money. Like, she's got like $6,000-7,000 in her account, probably. Like, or student loans. I don't even think she touched it. She was able to pay for all her stuff by putting money aside. So yeah, now they're arriving with a PS5. I told her, what'd be nice if we could buy the Rock Band kit and play Rock Band again. That used to be so much fun. We had that on the PS3, and it was awesome. Yeah, I bet, Darren, you have a lot of things going through your mind. That's why I decided to change the subject, because I realized after I said it that I wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah, it's Annie. And yeah, she has a French channel and an English channel. Back to Basics Homestead is English. I think it was about a year ago she had water kefir. She made a video on it anyway. I don't quite understand all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm still not started on the sourdough. I'm still waiting for someone to to teach me and give me some. No, you can't. You can't trust Aaron on that kind of subject. But I kind of opened the door for him. Like, I mean, it's not his fault. It really was mine. Awesome. Well, she might be able to help you figure out where or how to get some. If she was able to find some, then she knows where to get it. She can tell you. Hey, Thomas, thank you so much. Did I show you this, Thomas? I got my batteries for my GoPro. Now it's just a matter of trying to see if it works. The one thing I hate about the GoPro is I get like 6 hours of video on my SD card, but I only have like 1 hour of battery. So I don't know. I know in the car I can probably plug it and like have a use it as a dash cam if I need it. Maybe I can do a podcast while I'm driving, because I don't need to look at the camera. I can still look ahead and talk. But there's so many exciting things that could happen at the conference. Ideas for videos and things like that. I know, Darren, we have to find like at least an hour to go visit Thomas. He's like right like 15 minutes away from Angie, I think. Thomas, you're like what, 15 minutes away from Buckshot Lake? Power bank. Okay. When fishing, you take the battery out and just plug it in. Okay. Well, you do live streams and you don't swear. I'd like to do a video on foraging on Angie's property. I know that she has a little stream on the property, and I'm pretty sure I could find some morels mushrooms. And if I do, this is something I really want to try. So I'm thinking about bringing some moose meat for our little supper on Saturday night, or either that or a roast or something like that we could have slow cook, or maybe get Angie to work and do the cooking. Just kidding. I don't want to have another slap. I'll get Bridget to do it. And if I could find some morels, it'd be nice, or anything else. Fiddleheads, maybe she has some on her property and she just doesn't know about it. 10 minutes from Lanark. Okay, so that's like what, an hour from Buckshot Lake? So you're still quite a way, but I mean, we can probably find some time to go. I drive here. I don't know how bad it is there, but the roads are pretty bad here as well. I hate driving in the city too. Like, that's probably the main reason I will never move to the city, is not only because you don't have enough space, but I don't want to drive in the city. I hate it. I go to Quebec, it's like a weekend, it's different, it's okay. But when I get on the Ontario side, where we go in the woods in the middle of nowhere, it's a lot easier for me. It's a lot better. Really? Well, then I definitely have to go. Like, I really want to learn I don't know what it tastes like. From what I heard, they're like the best mushrooms out there, and never tried. So I want to try. I want to harvest some, and yeah, that will give me an excuse to go. Let's go catch some fish and some morels. My road rage doesn't fit my It's like Mad Max. Yeah. There's a lot of swearing coming out of my mouth too when I drive, especially when I go to work. Quebec City is just a big town, thankfully. It is pretty big compared to what we have here. Like, you don't know how small Campbellton is compared to Quebec. I mean, let's just say that we have like 5 set of lights, and I think that 4 of them are not working. Gives you an idea. Buckshot Lake is about 15 minutes from our 1,500-acre off-grid camp with a private lake. I can take you there possibly. Awesome. Darren, how do you feel about fishing? That would be awesome. Because I know Buckshot Lake, there's bass. From what I understand, you're not allowed to fish. So, Thomas, you probably know because you live there, but is that a fact? Is there anywhere you can actually illegally fish? Because, if I make a video and put it on YouTube, I want it to be legal. Otherwise, it's not going to be on YouTube. So I could be fishing trout on Buckshot Lake as well? Or is it that this lake does not have trout? The problem is, if I catch something, I don't want to put it back. I don't want to put it back in the water. So if I start fishing for trout and there's like this big, huge bass that bites, I can't promise that I will be able to put it back in the water. No, I have to, but, So it'll be closed when you come, and there's tons of little places around Buckshot Lake, like I can take you for brown rainbows, brooks. I've never had brown trout before, and rainbows I've had some, but only the ones that were like in a little private ponds. Only thing in Buckshot that would be legal is panfish. Okay, well that kind of sucked, I guess. But browns and rainbows, those are my favorite. Like, I'd like to go somewhere that I actually have a shot at catching something. If I go and put a line in the water for like 3 days in a row and don't catch anything, it's not fun. Splake and Lakers. Splake. What is a splake? All right, I got to tuck in all my ceilings and put the dog to bed. Dexter, go to bed, Dexter. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for stopping by. When you go live again, if you are still here, because I get the messages after, and splake is a mix between brook trout and a lake trout. They're neat fish. Awesome. Hello, NG. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I was wondering, on Saturday for the conference, since you make the best lasagna in the world on Friday, do you know how to properly cook moose? If I can find some roast, it'd be a nice meal to have for all of us, to have a nice roast. And Thomas has some morels, so we could go and get some mushrooms. And I don't mind chipping in on a bag of potatoes or something like that. Have potatoes for everyone, or vegetables from the garden. I can bring some stuff from my pantry. Sorry, geez, I'm burping a lot. Okay, no idea when I'll go live again. Yeah, because I'm trying to think, but I remember seeing you often, but I don't feel like it's steadily on a regular basis, right? Might be wrong. Listening as I'm doing things around the house. That's okay. That's okay. But yeah, it'd be nice if we could have like this nice meal. Last year, the poutine was fun. Tracy's probably going to want to go there again. I used to do weekly lives. It's now more like once a month pop-ups. I lost my slot. When did you do your live streams again? There's always someone. But you do you. Whatever's best for you, that's when you have to go and do it. You know, I do 8 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday mornings as well. I know a lot of people go to church and a lot of people are religious, but I also get like a different crowd than what I get here on Fridays. Just do whenever I feel like it. All right. Take care. Yeah, I can't find a good time on a regular basis. It works with my schedule. You will eventually. You just have to commit to it, even if it's a little bit later, and even if you just do 30 minutes. Listening as well. Will updating website still. All right. Monday 8 Eastern. Yeah. And doesn't already have a live with a ton of people that are my subs. Yeah, I know that's a problem. Usually on Fridays, I was the only one. I think about maybe 6-7 months ago, Scott from Rambling with the Broom started doing live stream. He goes an hour after me. For a while, I was sending people to his live stream, but now for some reason, whenever I look, I can't find him. If I go to try to redirect people there, I mean, I can't find his live stream in my thing, so I don't know if because he just decides last minute to do it or Monday. I have to start doing lives. I have to get Lisa on board for that yet, though. Well, it's not that difficult. Like, it's probably harder for me than for anyone else because English is my second language. So I have to drink a few beers to be more like relaxed when I speak. But then again, sometimes I feel like I'm just like blah, 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 blah. You know, you probably don't understand what I'm saying. And sometimes I have like 2 words in my head, but that happens in French as well. I have like 2 words in my head coming out at the same time. So I'm pretty sure people don't understand me, but that's okay. I mean, you know, I've had over 10 people watching for the last hour and a half. So that's easy, 15, 16, 17 hours of watch time right there. Plus I'm going to get people to watch on the replay. And, you know, it really, really helps the algorithms. He was like, yeah, I know he was live this afternoon. Like tonight he's probably not going to go live. I think he was, but something's happening. I think like there's a house on fire nearby or something like that. At least that's what I understood. 7 days in fermented homestead are Mondays as well. Yeah, honestly, Fridays were not my favorite time, but I find that if I do it during the week, I can't really have as much fun. I can't really have small drink because I'm working the next day. I can't stay as long as I want because, you know, even if I'm in my computer room, I still have to speak loud enough for you to understand me because my mic is here. This is where my microphone is. But I don't want to be like this all the time because it's hard on my legs, it's hard on my back, and I don't want to have my legs, you know, I have my seats there and take a lot of space. So I speak a little bit louder. And if I speak louder, well, you know, a lot of people in the house can hear me. So if I start doing live streams on a weekday, well, I wake up the kids or stop them from sleeping, and it's not good. Sunday morning when I go live, it's 8 a.m., but it's 9 a.m. my time. So at least, unless we've been out the night before, there's no reason why the kids should be sleeping until 12. Yeah, get an opening story, it gets easier, and then hopefully you have some people in the chat. Even if it's just like one comment once in a while, it really, really helps. My laptop keeps crashing, and I know why it's doing this, but I just don't have time to fix it. I purchased this laptop. It only had 8 gigs of RAM in it. And as soon as I put 2 slots of 16 for a total of 32, it started crashing. And the reason it's crashing is because the Windows is set for 8 gigs of RAM and not the 32. Now, I could do like a full reinstall, but even if I do so, it doesn't help fix the files or whatever that is causing the computer to crash. If I do like factory reset or reinstall from the hard drive, well, the version of Windows is set up for the 8 gig RAM. So I just have to take like an outside full version of Windows, take my serial code, serial number, and do a full reinstall, and hopefully that would fix it. But it's just a matter of having time to do it. And it crashes like once a day, maybe. And when it does, it should be good for a little while after. That's why when I do my editing, I do it on this laptop because it's a little bit stronger than this computer. But I have to save often, because if I don't, same thing that happened to me last weekend or 2 weeks ago, it's going to happen again. The computer's going to crash in the middle of me editing a video, and I'm going to have to start over. Thankfully, it was a video that I had done a good job in, clicking the stop and start recording on my phone. And I already had all the B-rolls ready and set up. And when I opened the software again, it was saved to the point where all the data was in the software. I just had to put everything in my timeline. So I just put everything there. I put the song and the B-rolls where they needed to be. And I had just a few tiny bit of details, like, at the start and the beginning, the start and the end of my footage, little tiny bit pieces of videos. But it took me like 15 minutes to redo it. See, and sometimes things like that happen, and you have a story to talk about. But I've been thinking about starting like a little journal and write down the things I would like to talk about. The stories I did when I was younger, or things that happened to me in the past, or things I want to talk about. Just have, and there's no reason why I couldn't do it, because I have my phone and I have a little free application on it called Reminder. I can just use Reminder and create like a list and put a bunch of ideas. And from there, I wouldn't have that problem anymore of forgetting what I want to talk about. Sorry, doing this again. So if things go according to plan, I should be able to start fishing. Well, it used to start on April 15 on the Restigouche River here. But the river was never really accessible until early March because we always had snow and ice until that time. And then because the water was too high, we couldn't go fishing until like the 10th of May. And from the 15th of May until next year, we can't fish on certain parts of the river. So we had like 4 or 5 days to fish, and then it was done. Last year and a year before, it was a little bit better. Is it last year? I think last year my brother caught like 20 trout total in the season. Like it was a very, very good season. And from what I read in the book this year, if I read correctly, and it's actually Scott from Rambling with the Brooms that told me that you can no longer fish on the same dates that you used to. So I don't think I can fish trout anymore on that part of the river. So really, the start of fishing for me will start on May 15. May 15 is when we can start fishing in lakes, dams, and we can fish everywhere at that time. So I have like the Charlotte Dam, which is a man-made dam, but it's full of fish, and that's where I want to go this year. I want to go there with a tent. I want to go there with the intention of sleeping there and, fish, catch the fish, clean the fish, gut the fish, cook the fish, and eat the fish. I'm starting to do that in notes on my phone and kind of plan out the video too. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, because let's face it, with all the technology we have nowadays, I find that our memories are fading away. I mean, I remember the first phone number I had when I was a young kid. It was 826-3436. I remember like the phone numbers from my friend, 3427, 1836. And now, like, the person I call the most often is my girlfriend. And, I have to think hard to remember her phone number, because it's a lot easier to just go on the phone, select her name, and press call. So writing down everything you want to write down is a good idea. That way you won't forget. We are not hunters here, but we have kayaks and should get fish for a freezer. Awesome. And if I may ask, are you not hunters simply because you were never raised into hunting, because you don't believe in hunting, or because you just, it just never happened? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Yeah, rules and regs change all the time here. You have to watch your bait now. What kind of bait can you not use? Like if I go with worms, I can fish? Usually it's not that bad here, and usually I have to admit that for recreational fishing, when something changes, they usually they promote it, like they spread the word. The only thing that I remember that was actually going down was the amount of mackerel you could keep. I remember back in the days, I think it was like 60 per person. So you could go fish for mackerel and go home with 60 mackerel. Now it went down to 20. I still have some in the freezer. Actually, that's something I should cook. I should eat it. It was like I made some filet, and I should really eat it. Not raising it and never bothered. Okay, like it's not because you're against it or anything. But I was raised into it. Like I'm pretty sure all my uncles do it. On my dad's side and on my mom's side, my grandparents used to hunt. I have a bunch of friends that hunt, and the ones that were not raised into it, they love it so much that they wanted to come with me whenever I was going. And now I have Anthony turning 16 years old in less than a month. He came with us last year, and obviously he wants to come again this year. Just don't know if it's going to happen because of school. Last year, it turned like it was a good year because Monday was Memorial Day or Veterans Day. So there was no school on Monday, and they had like teachers meetings on Friday. So he had no school on Friday. So he was only really missing 3 days of school. But he enjoys it. He likes to be out in the nature as well, and he enjoyed spending time with my dad. Like, I haven't got the chance to hunt deer a lot. So, not that I didn't want to teach him, but I'm like, just go there, sit there, and wait, because that's pretty much what deer hunting is. And my dad, more experience, and he's got plenty of deer in his lifetime. He took him like under his wing and showed him a little bit more stuff. They sat together at a few spots, looking in different directions, and whenever my dad would see something, he would tell my son, like, go take a look, and if it has antlers, shoot it down, My siblings hunt. Brother did lightly in BC, but he has... Oh, sorry. Okay, well, if it's not something you were raised into, it's hard to start because it's not just about learning how to hunt, but you have to know how to handle the rifle. You have to know how the animal behaves. You have to know all the rules. But I find that if you've never hunted before, the hardest part is probably to find a place where you can actually hunt. We struggle every year to find a place to go deer hunting. Luckily for us, we have Jack and Lindsay from Wren's Homestead. They have land, and they have a very, very nice neighbor that allows us to go on his property to hunt deer for the week. And he has I think it's like 100 acres. There's like 3 cuttings, and as long as we stay between the cuttings, we're fine. And like on one side, there's like NB Trail. I think it's legal to hunt there as well. And there seem to be always the deer crossing at the same spot. So next year, well, this fall, if I have my doe tag, I will be going at the same spot again. But before that, it was hard to find a place. When it comes to moose hunting, you have to know, well, there's always a bunch of different rules in different areas. But for us here in New Brunswick, you need to apply. You need to know when to apply. You need to know when and where to check. If you get drawn, you need to know what to do after. Because if your name is drawn, you then have to go and buy your license. And once this is done, you have to know the dates. You have to make sure you're on vacation during that time. And you have to know what zone you're going in. So we kind of have a deal where if myself or my dad gets the moose tag, we invite Jack over to come hunt with us. And if he gets the moose tag, he has a place to camp. He has someone to drive him around. Like, he has a place to hunt. So this is kind of the deal that we have. And I know they're really, really, really busy. So when we go deer hunting, we don't really have much time with them, which kind of suck because, they're nice people. But we'll probably try to get a little get-together at some point again this summer, hopefully. And who knows, maybe one of us will be lucky and have a moose again this year. But it's not only that. Depending on where you hunt, sometimes you have people that will block the roads and literally shoot at you if you try to cross. They take hunting very seriously. They'll threaten you. Now, this never really happened to me. I've seen some people put their trucks in a road to block a road, but when they came out, the tires were busted. There was the one guy at some point that told us something. They were hunting from a stand, and back then they were not as severe as they are now. And we were in like in the trunk of like in the back of the truck, and there was like this sign, moose hunting 2014, just and when my dad turned there, I'm like, Dad, like there's a sign, there's already someone there. It's like, Remy, like the road goes like 15 kilometers that way and another 20 kilometers that way. Like he can't control the whole road. And when we got to the end of the cutting, the guy was in the stand and he looked at us and he's like, you didn't see the sign? I'm like, yeah, we saw the sign, but you know, the road doesn't belong to you. If you were in a little pond somewhere or in a little trail somewhere with a block of salt, or you know, at the end of the road, we would see you and be okay. Well, this is where the road ends. That's where he's hunting. We're not going to go there. We have respect. You know, we can respect. We have respect for other hunters. But if you claim the whole road and it's like 35 kilometers long of hunting ground, well, you're not going to stop us from going. You can't control the woods. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? But there's always someone that's trying. But the thing is, if you can find your own spot, like where we go, you have to be on my uncle's land. Well, I don't know if it's actually his land, but his camp is there. He pays taxes, so I'm guessing like it's somewhat it belongs to him. There's a small trail in the back of his camp that goes to a pond, and from the pond, you're like maybe half a kilometer away from the cutting. And in the cutting, it's so overgrown now that you cannot see the bottom of the cutting unless you walk down there. So what we do is either we go from the pond behind the camp and we'll give a few calls there, or we go through the cutting, we go down and we get on top of a stump somewhere, on a tree stump, so we can just get over the branches and see below. But people from the road won't see it. And if someone passes by, they know we're parked there. They won't do it on purpose to go there because we're not blocking the road. We're not stopping anyone from passing. We're not stopping anyone from going there. So they know that we respect them. They'll respect us. And they can't really see anyway. And that spot, last year, I started calling, and there's like 5 bulls that came out at the same time. This year, same thing. I was in the middle of the cutting calling, and I said to my uncle, I said, do you hear them? He's like, yeah. Like we could hear 3 moose coming our way. And my dad was right on the side on the edge of the cutting. So you couldn't see them because they were in the cutting coming our way. But he was close enough. We were legally doing everything there. As soon as I got up to try to see where the moose was, they saw me. They started running down the hill. And when they ran down the hill, my dad was right there. And that's how we shot the big bull. 657 pound of meat. So we were able to share with Jack and Lindsay from Ren's Homestead. They really love the moose meat. I have to send them a message to see if they've been eating the moose a lot. My uncle didn't want to have any, and my dad took like 1/3, and he split the third of the moose with my brother. It is a lot of meat, and I had like 140 pound of deer meat as well, which is awesome. When you think about it, that's like almost 400 pound of meat right there. And I had the turkeys, the chickens, some fish. Other than sometimes we'll go to the grocery store and buy like a different kind of fish. Like some sort of white fish or salmon because we can't fish it here. Sometimes we'll get some chicken wings just because, you know, we like chicken wings. Sometimes we'll get ham when it's on sale. But we don't really need to buy meat. I don't remember the last time we actually had to buy meat. And what I like with all that meat is I was able to make some meat pies. So now, like, we don't have 20 left anymore, but we have like maybe 15, 14 left. And whenever we don't know what to cook for supper, we can just put a meat pie in the oven for an hour and we got something to eat. Has anyone hit that like button? I don't know. I see 12. I see 12 thumbs up. And I see 11 people watching. So I'm guessing it's fine. I'm okay with that. Angie, if you're still listening, don't know if you read that or if you heard that, but Thomas says that he has a lot of morels on his property. I'm pretty sure you have some as well. It would be wonderful if we could find some morel mushrooms. I really want to try it. Meat pies are great. Yeah. And depending on how much you eat, we have to cook 2 at a time because, I mean, I'll eat half of it by myself. Once everyone is done, I have like a quarter of a meat pie left for my lunch the next day. Well, buying from a neighbor is good. Like, I mean, at least you know where the meat comes from. This year I was blessed with a very good friend of mine sends me a message asking me if I want to buy pork. The pigs were still alive. Like, he actually filmed the pigs. And he's like, you want to come and, you know, end their lives yourself, or you want me to do it? I'm like, well, I don't really have a truck. You can go ahead and do it and bring it to us. We'll pay for your gas. He's like, well, you know, no big deal. I'll just go and do it. So we ended up with pork meat, 2 huge pigs that were about 600 and 700 pound round. That gave me about 240 pounds of pork. And I think it was like, it cost me $400 total for the pig, the butcher, and everything else included. I'm still yawning. I think when I did the math, it was like $1.80 a pound. Now, some people might say that it is pretty much the same price as it is at the grocery store. I think it's $2.29 at the grocery store. But what I had was organic. And what I had was not only pork chops. I had roast. I had bacon. I had pork chops. I had hamburg. When you start counting all of that, plus the lard, I still have some pig lard. I actually have to find something to do with it. I have the lard, but don't really know how to use it. I was just proud to have it there, but I'm going to have to use it at some point. But yeah, it's just, especially with the cost of food nowadays, and I don't want to sound negative and I don't want to go down the rabbit hole too much, but let's just say that, listen to that sound. Isn't it fun? Let's just say that with the cost of everything, to be able to have food on hand for a lot cheaper than what you get at the store, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Well, I took the pork fat. It was not really cooked, but slow cooked to the point where I took all the liquid put it in my jars, pressure canned, and now it's on the shelf and it's all white. I don't know if that's what you call rendering, but I'm guessing I would say yes. Jeez. Ugh. Acid reflux, right? What's going on? What's going on? Anyone else notice since the big Facebook apocalypse that Facebook keeps showing the same stuff? If I refresh my feed, it might be a setting somewhere, but then again, like, where can I don't know. There's something weird with Facebook. Keep showing the same stuff over and over again. What? I can't find anything talking about rendering. Is it cooking? Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's all it's been rendered. Yeah, so I'm not the only one, and I know Len said the same thing as well. It's like I see that, my girlfriend says happy birthday to someone, and 6 days later, it's still the first thing I see on my news feed. There's definitely something wrong with Facebook. I don't know what it is. It can't be an update. Ever since the crash happened, I get that problem. Well, I've been on for a little bit over an hour and a half, almost at 2 hours with my new 15-minute introduction that I put on so that people can tune in, get ready, and come and sit down. I will let you guys go. I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow morning. I have one of the interesting videos I want to make. So I want to get that done tomorrow morning, because tomorrow in the afternoon, my girlfriend and I decided we were going to clean. There's the way that the basement is divided. On top of my head is the stairs, and when you just go down the stairs across, you have like the washing machine, the drying machine. You have on the side right there, I have a freezer and like the hot water tank, and I have like a bunch of storage stuff there, bins and things like that. And when you come this way, like I'm under the stairs, like I said. Right across there is my son's bedroom, and like behind there is my daughter's bedroom. And if I went down the stairs and turned right, you have like this nice sized room that leads to the basement outdoor door, and I have my bedroom there. But that room that leads to outside has a freezer, has my pews locked in a locker. I have a bunch of shelves, but it's all full of crap. It's full of stuff that we just didn't want to get rid of back in the days. It's full of like souvenirs from 20 years ago when I was coaching soccer. I have a bunch of t-shirts that I have in bins that I'm never going to wear, that I'm never going to do anything with. I always dreamed about having a nice room with, what would you call that? Like presentoir, maybe, like, those windows, have like my medals, my t-shirts, and my trophies, and like my trophy case, I guess. But it's not going to happen. And I'm not at the same place in my life anymore, and don't really care. Right now it's 9:40 p.m. my time. I think I'm just an hour ahead of you guys. Um, so yeah, if we can clean this up, I would like to take the little shelf that we have here with a bunch of crap on it, sell some stuff, get rid of some stuff, like maybe just pile it up in those bins somewhere else, and take that little shelf outside and get rid of it in the spring. Put the freezer that's on the other side next to the one that we have there. In the room back there, transform that into, plant, uh, pantry, a place where I could store like all my gardening stuff, like my seeds, my grow lights, and everything like that. Even if I have some space in my bedroom there, like the way the bedroom is done, well, you can't see even if I try to show you, but we have the wardrobe come into about here, and in this corner here, like it's simply, um, a shelf like this is like like a foot long, foot wide. So I have like one shelf like this on both sides and maybe 2 feet in the middle. So it's probably like 4 feet wide and like 6 feet long. And it's just like a little corner in the bedroom where I plant all my stuff. Hello, Grave Jams. Or if I can call you Mr. Vineyard Chicks. Lurking while doing the dishes. Awesome. Yes, an hour. Yeah, it's like I said, 9:40 p.m. here, 9:45 almost now. So that's why whenever some people have live streams a little bit later, especially like I try to be there for your live streams, Karen. I enjoy it, and it's not because I don't want to, but the first day of the week, it's always a little bit harder. And oh, your mama Vineyard Chicks. So what's the name of the daddy Vineyard Chick? You have a wonderful family, and your girls are amazing. Like, I mean, it's so nice to see them. They have such a creative mind. And I think they told me that it was KK that was like the real musician in the family, like the real artist doing all the music and stuff. Okay, he goes in as Vineyard Dad. I was mixed up. I thought it was like the opposite. But like all the songs they made for the introduction and stuff, those songs they stay in my mind. They're stuck in my brain. So it really works. Like if I could, like I think I would take their song and put it in my introduction as well. That's cool. I appreciate that. Much of my audience is in Saskatchewan and BC. Well, no matter what, if I can't stay for too long, I have you playing on my main account here and on my second account there. So thank you. Yeah, I appreciate like it's the first time I heard about you, and I'm gonna say that in order not to cause any more conflict, but it was with Shit Wars. Bunky had her own channel, and I started following her there, but I didn't know what was going on. And then, what happened with, I don't want to go into details, but I started like hearing a little bit more about you guys, and especially since I started following Scott from Rambling with the Brooms a little bit more. It's I saw the videos, I saw the live streams. I was trying to get there as often as I could. Life is busy. I'm so busy. Life is hard. But now I'm glad that I know at least on Sundays. I have a friend going live a little bit later, but you guys go live right before. And especially being in the collaboration, it's given me an extra reason to be there. And I enjoy it. Like, I mean, it's it's awesome. And yes, to have the song stuck in my head, it's a good thing on a marketing point of view for sure. But I have those seeds, and I don't think any of them needs to, well, I'm gonna need to plant the tomatoes soon and the peppers. I think those need to be planted in the next 2 weeks for me. But if I start too early, um, then I end up, they're growing too fast, and I don't have enough space for all of them. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's okay. Oh yeah, life is very busy, but we do try to watch it. Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of my live stream, sometimes I don't have time to watch everyone. I mean, I have like 30 friends on YouTube that I'm subscribed with the little notification bell hit. But it's impossible. If every one of them puts a video out every day, like, I'm not gonna sleep. But at least I'll put the video on, give a thumbs up, leave a comment, go do what I have to do, because obviously I need to take a shower, I need to eat, I need to go to work, I need to sleep. But whenever I go to bed, I always have a video playing there and there. At least I do that. And I try to alternate, not always do the same people. Every second video, I want to be there and focus and watch and learn. Yeah, and so far it's been a lot of fun, a lot of awesome channels. I'm trying to think about whoever was there. I don't remember his name, the one that was there Sunday, but I subscribed, and I watched one of his video, and turned out that it was a video that he did where he was talking about what happened since he started his channel, which was kind of a good thing, because I joined and I was able to learn from him right away, like learn who he was right away. We started the peppers but tomatoes at the end of the month. Okay. I can't bring anything outside before early June in my zone. The older, more experienced gardeners will say they always aim for June the 15th. I usually try to go after the full moon, but I know sometimes I can start some stuff, end of May, early June. Whatever goes in the ground, I don't mind planting it like middle of May. And this year, I'm guessing that I'm going to be able to plant some stuff outside a lot earlier than I used to. I usually have snow until early May. And I remember playing softball in June and having patches of snow nearby in the woods. That's not really uncommon. But this year is like the most beautiful winter I've ever had. I think I only had to shovel the stairs once outside, which is like something I've never seen before. And I can see some grass right now, and it's never happened before either. Yeah, it is a wonderful community to be in, and Scott is such a nice guy. First time we met, he invited me for supper. The funny thing is, he lives about 15 hours away from me, but his wife comes from here. So his mother-in-law lives here. So every year he comes on vacation for a week, and we always manage to get a meal together, or at least drink a beer or have something like that. We're supposed to plant out around Mother's Day, but we have been having flaky weather, so we plant way later, close to your time. Okay. Our date is after May 24th. I planted peppers today, which is late for me. Yeah, if I have some cayenne pepper planted, but only because I think it was Mike's Chaotic Gardening, or I think that's the name of his channel. He did winter indoor gardening, seed planting, or whatever collab. I always forget those the names of the collabs, but I ended up planting some cayenne pepper. But it's the one from dollar store. It was like $3. You had the pot, the disc, or whatever you need to put water, and it expands into soil. I had the seeds. I planted it. I have 3 beautiful plants growing. I'm going to need to transplant them soon, though, because eventually they're going to run out of nutrients. But usually I plant my peppers like early April, only because they take longer to grow, and I put them on an heat mat. Crazy winter. Yeah. Really, like, we wanted to go ice fishing, and there was no way that we could get that done because it never froze. The river never froze. Usually from the end of December until the end of February, they can cross over on the Quebec side here with their vehicles. And, it's probably like a kilometer away, maybe. They can cross on water. But this year it was impossible. The water never froze. Yeah, it is awesome. It is kind of cool. When we were in a chat at some point, and he's like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm from New Brunswick." He's like, "Oh, my family's from, like, I have family there." I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool." And then we started talking, and it turns out that his mother-in-law lives here. So he knows that if I think his mother-in-law is in home care, retirement home, and if they need something, they can just send me a message and I'll go. They needed help last year, and we went. Yeah, I'm guessing it's on your side. I didn't see anything freeze on my side. All right. Well, I will leave. I will go to bed. Mama Vineyard Chicks, if that's how I can call you. He calls her Bunkster, and she calls him Scottster. I have it in my calendar that I will be a guest on your daughter's channel. I think it's the last weekend of April, because I wanted to be sure. I'm still in February here on my calendar. I think it's on the 28th or 21st. I wanted to be sure that I received the seeds before I did the interview with them, which I received the seeds a while back. It'd be nice maybe at some point if I could have them on my live stream, but I don't know how long they want to go. I always try to go as long as I can because it's good watch time, but if they can only come for an hour, it would still be nice to have, like, I don't know if Bunky's too young or whatever, but just to have a brief idea about why they love this lifestyle so much and where they get all their creativity from. It's fun to pick their brains. They have you in their calendar. Awesome. Good night. All right. That's it for me as well. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. I still have 11 people watching, 12 now. So that's, a good amount of watch hours for me. And you can email KK. She will let you know their time. Bunky probably won't be on the live, but KK will let you know. Awesome. All right. And maybe we can even talk about the collab, where they got the idea and what's the idea behind it and all that kind of stuff. All right. Enough talking. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. I will do like I always do. Let you go with a little song. Take care. See you